solve the quadratic equation by factoring. First thing, look at the equation. Look at it. Do you see that x squared? You see the x squared? Okay. That means this is a quadratic equation. So, my first method that you will learn to solve quadratic equations is to solve them by factoring. Which is why, if you're not good at factoring, go back and watch the factoring videos. So, what do I do to solve a quadratic equation by factoring? I get everything on one side. Well, everything is on one side. And I factor it. And then I use the zero product property. Zero product. What does that mean? Product means to multiply. So if you multiply two things and you get zero, that's when we use the zero product property. Okay, so everything's on one side. I will now factor it. And this looks like it'll be factoring trial and error short way. So I'll just do my two parentheses. How do I get x squared? And I'm sure that you're saying x times x. I need a negative 10. To get 10, I'm either going to use 1 times 10 or 2 times 5. Those are my choices. Well, I'm going to get a negative 10, which means I need a positive times a negative. So I'm going to use 2 and 5 because when I subtract those, I get 3. Where should I put the 2? Where should I put the 5? I want a negative 3x. I want my middle term to be negative. So I'm going to put the largest number by the negative. Now, we have this binomial times this binomial is equal to 0. Okay, I don't know what x is right now, but my common sense should tell me that if this times this is equal to 0, then either the first thing, which happens to be x plus 2, the first thing will equal 0, or the second binomial will equal 0. And the rest, these are just little bitty equations. Subtract 2 from both sides. So x is going to equal negative 2. Here, add 5 to both sides. X will equal 5. So my solution set is negative 2, 5. Now these squiggly lines, this means solution set. It means I have more than one answer. This is not an ordered pair. This is just my two answers. Okay, so my solution set is negative 2, 5. Yes, we worked that out algebraically. But what does this really mean? This means that if I was to graph this, I know it's a parabola because I saw that x squared. But it crosses at the point negative 2, when x is negative 2, because you told me one of your x's was negative 2, and it crosses at 5. So it crosses there and at 5. So it's going to be a parabola that looks something like that. That's just a sketch, but that is what is in the graphical view.